everyone. Welcome back to another riveting episode of Embracing Your Diamond. Gavi Tabor still on the beach. Have you gotten up to get refreshments in the last few weeks? You just sort of been getting some sun.
I wish I've been just going outside getting the ice and the snow for my cocktail.
Your cocktail. Right, very good. We are in our fifth episode, our fourth stage, entitled Facets of Your Diamond. So excited to begin to explore this with you, Gavi, and take it away.
Hi, thank you again, Rabbi. Hope all
Uh,
is well. Like I
thank
said, regards
you.
from the desert island. So, so we are we're getting up there. We've embraced our diamond. We found out just as a courtesy, these are very general statements. These are things you have to work on. That's why polishing a diamond is a life work really. But it's once you have a diamond, you polish it. When you look at it, you kind of, oh, look what I have. I have a diamond. So one of the reasons, again, before we go into this, one of the reasons why we did this is to give you ideas to trigger questions. So, when you do have questions, and again, we embrace questions because that's what we're here for, to help people. So again, we're giving generalized lessons here, but just to know, it's take this as knowledge to move forward, right? And just like we're on level 4, it doesn't always take you 5 weeks to get to where you are. It's a lifeline thing. So just a kind of like disclaimer. I wish it was that easy. Even at my age, I'm still trying to polish my diamonds. We've all got something. So again, so we as we planned it, this week is the facets of a diamond. So I put in our notes, a diamond has 4 facets: purpose, family, self, and spirituality. So how would you connect all these together? Now, we've only got a limited amount of time, so to make it easier to concept, but the same concept is, I just want to focus more so on purpose, not to discard family, self, or spirituality. And the reason why I'm not going to spend so much time on this, because the next podcast or the one after is basically combining everything you've learned, how to interact with family and friends to either help them or to help you guide away. So just for this one, I just want to really, really focus more on a purpose. And the reason why I say purpose is, I would say, one of the number one killers, and I don't mean physical killers, but mental, and it hinders people from growing, is realizing, what's my purpose in this world? Right? We've all have that. Like the expression, the midlife crisis. After you get to say, what am I doing in my life kind of thing.
Feel
Some
like
get it
I've
earlier.
already.
I think we have many mental life crises. But yeah, so I just want to kind of focus more on a purpose. Why? Because reality is, in the very first one, when we talked about digging for diamonds and realizing, discovering your diamonds, what did we basically talk about? We talked about, you listen to that Jiminy Cricket inside yourself, like, I'm better than I am, but I'm not sure how to do it. So it's the same concept of, what is your purpose? So one of the reasons by a diamond and a purpose is, it everyone has diamonds, as we've discussed many times. So your purpose, your diamond is for a certain purpose, right? So with trying believing that you have something to give and you are amazing, and we've talked about this before. Again, this is like, it's a constant review of that. God wants you to be in this world because he believes in you, understands and realize, right? Once you get that concept packed, you could then go to the next level, which is, what is my ultimate purpose? You know, because reality is, most people don't believe that everyone has a different purpose, but you have to keep looking over the shoulder. Well, this guy must be owning, happy, so therefore I'm going to copy him. Right? You're kind of going against what you are trying to achieve by embracing a diamond. So our purpose, reality is our purpose for living is what are we living for? The old expression of Rabbi Noach Weinberg used to say is, what are you busy dying for? Right? What do you want to achieve in this world? So, a lot of people, what's their purpose? They want to make a lot of money, but they're not happy, you know? Or people are chasing, the American dream. It's like constantly chasing it, right? So you're chasing, and you are going so fast, or you're going down a one-way street. You don't realize, maybe the purpose at this moment is to stop and is to appreciate the breeze coming past you. Because once you stop and you appreciate the breeze against your cheek or the sunshine against your forehead, you're then looking at nature in a different perspective. You're looking at your environment in a different perspective. You're looking at as people in different ways, right? Because once you can understand, whoa, stop. What I'm good at talking, right? But if you don't do anything about it, then it's useless, right? So if your diamond is to be a empathetic person like yourself, and I'm sure one of your purposes is to help people in times of grief, right? Because you realize you have a skill that you want to perfect at the same time you want to help people. So therefore, your purpose at this moment in time, right? You went and did education, and you went and did courses, and you went and did life experiences, and you had to go through, learning about trauma and learning about death and how people relate to many different ways, right? Everyone experiences different things. So for you, just to pick on you, because there's no one else on this desert island at this moment in time, your purpose is to use your empathetic nature. Now, there's a double-edged sword to it, my dear friend. Is sometimes you can have a purpose that you do on the outside really contradicts what's in the inside. So, we're doing one thing and we're happy, but we're not really happy because we're not really fulfilling our inner cry, right? Now, not to discard what your purpose is, but in a way is that your inner soul, let's put it this way, wants to achieve a certain way. So that's where religion sometimes comes in to challenge your way of thinking and doing it in a way for an eternal concept or to help someone else achieve something else, not just a job in a way. But I put down here in my notes because I wrote these notes a few weeks back. Example, I'll give you I can't read my writing here. I apologize to myself. God created you for a purpose, right? So if he created you for a purpose, you have to believe in yourself too. So how do like one reason why I did family, self, and spirituality with your purposes, for example, the cell phone, this day and age, is one of the greatest inventions, but at the same time, the worst invention. There was a cartoon once of someone, two people talking, and he pulls up and says, "Hey, I just bought a new invention, right? Called the cell phone." And the guy turns around and says, don't kill your family over the cell phone." So the guy says,
Hmm.
"What are you talking about?" He said, "On your cell phone, it's replaced your alarm clock, it's replaced your calendar, it's replaced your watch. Don't let it kill your family." So how do you do that? Is that the time with your family, your purpose, if you're married and you have children or you have your job, that cell phone, when you're talking to someone, put it away. That's your purpose at this moment in time, right? To overcome it. I'm talking to you. I shouldn't be on my phone. Hi, how you doing? Oh, well, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Your purpose at this moment in time is to talk to your customer, is to talk to the person in grief, right? That's the same thing with your purpose. If your purpose is you believe that I'm great at business, then focus on the business, but how to make it in a way that it's more meaningful, right? Is the end thing now is everything has to be an experience, right? It's a wonderful concept if you believe in it. So what's the experiences we're dealing with life is that you meet people along the way, right? And like myself, I'm a coach, I'm a therapist. When someone comes to me, I want to give them the tools and the tools through their challenges to either cope or to overcome or but if I come along and my purpose is just to make a lot of money and therefore you come to me, I'll say X, Y, and Z, but I don't really mean it. It doesn't have the same impacts. It doesn't have the same because it's not your purpose,
Right.
right? And that could be anything. Again, the whole concept of diamonds is not. We're not talking about one diamond. You all have a crown. We all have a necklace, and there are many different diamonds. So at the moment in time when you talk to your children, that is your diamond in that moment. Find that purpose out of that thing. You're going to sleep. Make the purpose of going to sleep restful. So you wake up the next morning invigorated and healthy. eating is a diamond, sleeping is a diamond, going to work is a diamond, interacting, is a diamond. You know, every every purpose, again, I'm going to be a stereotypical now. Every purpose is unique, right? And this is the hardest thing I find that people not to bring religion into it, but to bring a concept that there is someone there that believes in you. So therefore, he's giving you a challenge right now because he wants you to be better than you are. So your purpose in this moment in time is to say, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to try and make the most of it, and then go to someone. Rabbi Ben, can you give me advice? And I'm struggling with this. Right? How do I put that into my life? How do I polish this diamond called a purpose? Right? There are many, many, many people, they go through life and they feel so empty because they're not doing what they needed to do because it's too hard. Right?
Right.
There's a concept of anything that's easy, there's something wrong.
Mm.
Because reality is, forget about religious concept, is the most important thing is the journey. Right?
Mm.
It's like, there are people who win the jackpots, the lottery. Right? Now, if I won the lottery with $100 million, right, I would use it to pay off bills and invest, and I'll use it in a multitude of good ways, bad ways, and ridiculous ways. Why? Because I value the concept of money. Why do I say that? Because majority of people who win the lottery within a few years have spent it all and they go back to where they were beforehand.
Right.
You know, I have a great idea, and they had for a while had these programs. They'll come to someone and build them a new house because they have a challenge, whatever it is, right?
Right.
And they have a week and they build the whole house, which is impossible, right? Anyway, and they showed the beforehand where they lived in this
I
house.
want the
Yes, right.
yeah.
And what happens is it's built upon, this person, and they build a theme and this and this and this. And I want to make a problem of going back to the people, right, in 6 months down the line, right? A lot of these people don't have money to buy a house, and also they build a massive mansion, with state of the arts. Fine, it may have been given for free, but do they have the money to run it? You
Or the
know,
money to taxes.
or yeah, or anything like that. So that's the same concept. Is that your purpose is making a balance of realizing and understanding what I can and can't do, and making that challenge of what's meaningful, what's not meaningful. Am I just having this massive house because I've got the expectation and everyone else, wow, what an amazing house, but guess what? I can't afford it. I can't appreciate it. And so what happens is you don't appreciate it, you resent it. Right. And then, when you've lost it because you didn't appreciate what it was, you're so bitter. Look what I had, what I could have done. Right. So again, that's an extreme case. But if I brought that analogy down to you and I and everyone else listening out here, is that the purpose that you have is crafted for you. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's there crafted you because if you really embraced it would refine the things that we need to refine. It will make us meet people that would challenge us, or it will meet us people that we can help refine them, which in turn refines the world. And my God, don't we need, a little bit more light, a little bit more honesty, and a little bit more reality of what's real and what's not, politically correct or incorrect, or however you want to put it. What's our purpose? What's our purpose as a husband, as a wife, as a child, as a layman, as a counselor? What's our purpose? That's multifaceted, and that's one reason why I put in the facets of your diamonds is your purpose, is your family, is yourself, and if you want to go a bit higher to your spirituality, because reality is they do in a way fit in a glove, but not always, sometimes it's intermingled, but it's all together. It's one connection. The reality is a knock-on effect, right? Your way you treat your family is not always the same way you treat people in the street,
Right.
right? Because they know the real you, right? We put on a facade. So what normally happens is if you're not real to your purpose, or you're not real to what you can do, it's reality, and I keep bringing it, is the Jiminy Cricket. Well, if you're willing, as we said, the first two, to realize that you're better than you are, it will always sit in the back of your mind, not in a nagging way, but saying you're better than this. You've got something to give. You have something that no one else has to give. There's an expression that if a person dies and he hasn't fulfilled his potential, it's as if he's stolen from the world. You know, it's the old analogy of the big machine, right? All the big cogs and and all the electronic computer program, right? You can plug it in and it may not work if you have that small spring or that small clog or the batteries turn the wrong way around. It's useless. So I'm the small spring, you're the small spring in a certain way, but sometimes you're the big cog, right? So realizing that you have a diamond, reality basically is a sum what we've all been talking about for the last 5 weeks. When you realize that you have a diamond and you realize you want to dig for the diamond, you realize the hard work that you want to bring it out, and you kind of make it your life mission to be better than you are, everyone wins. People around you win because there's something about you that shines off as you polish that diamond that people are, wow, that kind of person's real. Right? I want to get to know what he is. Maybe you can give me advice or give me direction or where to go. Your family's gonna, benefit because you are radiating yourself. And that's the ultimate greatness that we want to achieve. We want to be somewhat of our true self, right? It's one of the hardest things. Well, all these levels are hard, but in a way they're meaningful and they're worth it. There are plenty of people. And what's my purpose in this world? Right?
I'll give you a quick story.
Please,
My
please.
my 5.5-year-old daughter, Miriam, is very precocious and outgoing. And the other day I brought her to Walmart.
Okay.
And finally get to the checkout counter, which if you have children, is a feat within itself. That is a win without spending your entire paycheck. But my daughter gets up to the checkout counter and she said, looks at the lady and she says, "Oh, I love your outfit." And they all wear these blue vests with the little buttons and this and that. But to my daughter, this particular person and the way this person looked in their vest was just amazing. And the absolute, first of all, she's very cute, beautiful blonde hair, etc. But for her to just compliment somebody, even on their work uniform, just changes someone's entire perspective. And when you start to do that, you bring out the shine in yourself and you bring out the shine in another person.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it was a beautiful sight to see. I was very proud.
It reminds me of an expression, let me see if I remember it. The meaning of life is for you to find your gifts, but the purpose of your life is to give it away.
Mm.
You know, and the greatest thing about this as well, I know I've said this story before and I use it many, many times when I talk, just to prove your point, is that life is not one dimensional at times. And the reason I say that is due to the fact that if you said hello to someone or how are you, we think, oh, it's just being courteous or it's meaningless. You don't know the ripple effects of how that affects other people. So the story goes as follows, and I think I said it a few weeks ago. The stage is set for the graduating class of 1988, and the valedictorian comes up, you know, and of course, he is the star of the show before the end of beginning it. And he gets up and goes and says, "Thank you all for coming here. I appreciate this, but really, this honor really should go to my dear friend Ben." And there's a silence on the auditorium. What are you talking about? This guy is, the All-American, the straight A's, the example American, I don't know what the expression is, but the what?
He's a success story.
The success story, right? And he's
Yeah.
going to be, drafted number one in all All-Star. For him to turn around and say he's not. So he says, let me tell you a story. And he says, 12 years ago, I was going through a really hard time. What happened going at home, and I had enough, and I couldn't connect with anybody, and no one wanted to talk to me, and whatever is that, right? And I decided to kill myself. And but because I didn't want people to kind of go and clean out my locker, I decided to take everything home. And I had a lot of stuff. And as I'm walking out of the building, I fall and all my books go flying. And because I have no friends, and everyone started laughing to me. And Ben came up to me. I didn't know who he was. And he said, "Hey, can I help you? Where are you going?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going home." So let me help you. So Ben helps him and he walks, and he starts talking to him and just shooting the breeze. But there's an honesty there. And this guy says, "You know what?" And so Ben says to him, "Oh, let's go out for a milkshake tomorrow, whatever, like anyway, the friendship starts. And this guy says, "Well, I'll kill myself tomorrow." And cut a long story short, the friendship builds and he decides not to kill himself, and he tries to get his life together, and he's his challenges, but as you can see, he's now the valedictorian. So he turned around and said, "Ben, this is really, you should be up here, because had you not said hello to me and you gave me a bit of validation and you just basically gave me hope that I didn't kill myself, and therefore who knows where I'm going to go." And to add another story, is also a famous, a favorite of mine. I'm sure you've heard this one. Is about and I only remember it because I'm looking at the beach out my window here. Is most people live by the beach, and those people are really, well, they go in the mornings or in the evenings when there's the crowds aren't there. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's serene, it's beautiful. Just as a side point, I lived in Australia, Bondi Beach, one of the famous. I lived in Bondi Beach, and I would go every single morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and just sit there and meditate. There was hardly anybody there, and I used to see sunrise. It was gorgeous. Oh,
Wow.
memories. Oh, those are the days. Anyway, so what happens is this set that is there's a guy that goes every single morning, and he walks along the beach, and he happened to come across one morning. Some guy was there. He was like, "Oh, curious, never seen this guy before. What was he doing?" And he would walk 3 steps, bend down, pick something up, and throw it into the waves. And this guy, well, this is unusual. So he sat back and he watched this guy, same steps, 3 steps, picked down, throwing up, threw it in, right? Carried on. And he's watching this guy for 20 minutes. And he's like, "I've got to ask this guy what's going on." So he says, "Hi, good morning. Yeah, I'm sorry, this sounds really strange. I don't know who you are, but I've been watching you, and you've got the strangest ritual, right? What are you doing?" So the guy says, "Have you been to this beach before?" He says, "Yeah." "Have you ever looked down and around and noticed?" He said, "No." He said, "Look down." And sure enough, by his feet, the tide had gone out, and there were starfish along the shore. Now, if you didn't know anything about starfish, is that if they're not in the water, they're going to die. So the guy says, look down there and see the starfish, and he would die in the heat. I'm just picking up and throwing it into the sea so he can be alive. So you can take in the speech a long way, but basically is there something that's right in front of you that looks so insignificant, right? Can save a person's soul, can save a person's life. And that's a purpose that we all can do, not specifically, as well as being a human being, right? It is the validation, is the saying hello. And like you said, you never know how one small thing. This lady in Walmart, besides, say she's having a bad day, and your daughter did the greatest kindness to this person, she may have a terrible thing, comes home, and then all of a sudden this innocent young sweet girl says something. And one of the greatest feelings in the world is this smile of validation. It kind of, there's an expression in England called, it warms the cockles of your heart. Right? It's the things that, it is that light that if you taste it, or if you've seen it, or you've felt it, it has a tremendous power that when times are dark, I can't explain it. I mean, if you met people that have inspired you, right? I used to have a friend who lives in Australia, And she would say to me, is that you don't always remember the words that people said, but you will remember a real action. I always remember that. That and she had an expression which I can't express, I can't say, but it fits perfectly to other things, right? So the purpose to sum this up is one of the, if you're serious about your diamond, you're serious about your that you have something to give. One of the things you have to give is a purpose. Find that purpose, embrace it, polish it, and the magic of it will affect you. It will affect other people, and the even greater thing is you don't even know how you're going to get your actions will ripple to help someone else. So in a way, it's a selfless action. The reality, you get interest in it in a way you won't even know. On a deeper level, it'll resonate within your soul, it'll resonate within other people. And it's like the expression, how do you chase away darkness? Just light a match,
Mm.
right? It's the same concept. I mean, I could keep going on, but it's the same. I don't want to kind of overwhelm our incredible listeners. Again, we just want to inspire. We want to strike that match, apply a little bit of polish on a diamond. And one of the ways of doing it is one of the facets of your diamond is a purpose. And we've almost finished this series. I think two or three. I'm not sure. We have to figure out what it is. But yeah, realize that purpose is incredible. And once we've embraced it, and also one last thing is once you embrace something, it's amazing that opportunities will open for you in ways that you never understood possible. And it's like, like an octopus outreaching tentacles that will attract and enable you to move in the world. Yeah, again, the meaning of life is for you to find your gift, and the purpose is to give that gift away. And that's the message, the homework we want to for this week of Embracing Your Diamond podcasts. Yeah, let it resonate, let it shine, let it sink in. And just to finish off, don't follow Rabbi Ben, Be Holy podcasts, and Yellow Road Thinking for all your coaching needs. Don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Just know that we have great ideas going forward. After the series is wrapped up, I have some great ideas. I don't want to tease you, but
Right. Mm.
they're coming soon from a desert island.
That's right. Soon from a desert island. We have some amazing things in the pipeline and the ways to continue to connect to us. We want to hear from you, hear your stories, hear how you're feeling. And we want to validate you, encourage you every step of the way. And just like Gavi said earlier, this is not a sequential sequence of every week you need to be on the next step, just like it is in heaven. As we know, there's no time barrier. These things take time, but we want to give you tangible things to think about and embrace as you embrace and find your diamond, your purpose in this life. And we look forward to coming to you soon.
Please share. Please, please.
Share, subscribe.
God bless, guys. Be curious, keep growing, and keep polishing.
All the best.